in Kenya's political environment, we have never had different political ideologies. If you ask me, I'll tell you that all Kenyan political parties are social democrats. They are all social democrats, starting with KANU after KADU crossed over. A political party that had ideology or had something that wanted to resemble ideology was KPU, Kenya People's Union, by Jaramogi Oginga. At least here it had an ideology. It used to call itself a socialist party, but it was a socialist party leaning towards communism. Leaning towards communism. And I would tell you that any Kenyan, most Kenyan leaders, politicians, who have advocated for communism or socialism, they are the greatest capitalists. Look at them. Jaramogi was a very big capitalist. His son, Raila, is a very big capitalist. Na pia najua kunyakua every political whatever. So as I was saying that KPU is the only party that tried at those initial days to have a political ideology, KPU. But of course, if you deny somebody oxygen, he dies. So the KPU had to die. We continue, you look at all political parties. I can say that all political parties that we have ever had in Kenya, name it. Okay, from there, we can say that the next party was Kenya Social Congress, which was started by Jaramogi and George Anyona. That one, frankly, it had some socialism in it. Actually, it was a socialist party, more slightly to the center, away from communism. It was a softer way of if you compare it with KPU. KPU was more communism than socialism. But Kenya Social Congress, which was started by Jaramogi and George Moseti Anyona, if you ask me, I can say that it was the nearest a socialist government could be. I've not talked of social democrat. I said social, Kenya Social Party or Kenya Social Congress. When you go to after that, then there was a party that was started by Jaramogi and Salim Damwe. It was started by Salim Damwe and Jaramogi, which was called NDP, or National Development Party. Is it? Okay, he started an NDP, and that is why Raila had also to buy another NDP from Stephen Oludhe. The reason being that in Kenya, when a political party has merged with others or has been denied registration, you cannot start another party with the same name. You find that KADU was Kenya African Democratic Union, but somebody else came up with two parties. There was one which was called KADU Asili, and then there was another KADU, but this other KADU had two Ds, Kenya African Democratic Development Union, but it was a plan too. So when Jaramogi started National Democratic Party with Salim Damwe, it was denied registration. So when Raila wanted to start his own party in 1997, he was impressed by Stephen Oludhe's National Development Party because it had the same initials like his father's NDP. So I can fast forward and say in 1992, when other parties started coming, be it the two functions of Ford, be it Democratic Party. Democratic Party was a social democratic party, but more for the entrepreneur. Hiyo imenishinda hapo, but you understand, entrepreneur. That is what uh, it was started. But most of the parties in Kenya have always been social democratic parties. Now, what happened is that we have social democratic party for this person, we have social democratic person for the other person, we have the social democratic party for the other person, or can I say we have social democratic party for this tribe, we have social democratic party for this other tribe, and so on and so on. These people, when you when you see them joining together, they say that we are joining up with other people, like-minded people. Yes, it's like-minded people because of one, these are not political parties, but these are political vehicles for uh, politicians to get power. That is why they are like-minded. And you can even see, if you can remember, that ODM recently said that they are support the Kenya Kwanza manifesto, because if you read it and you read the if you read it and you read the ODM Azimio manifesto, it is just the same. Yes, it is the same because two people can talk the same thing, and when you listen to them, you think they are talking two different things. For example, you ask somebody, he says the answer is yes. You're asking two people, isn't it? One says the answer is yes, the other one says the answer is not no. No, the answer can't be no. And they've said the same thing. So these people usually do that. And that is why, if tomorrow a tribal leader from this or that tribe joins up with the other, you find that the people who are mocking you the other day, they are really praising you and whatever, because they are, for Kenyan politicians, are like-minded people. They are like-minded because they have no political ideology, but they just enter into a coalition of vehicles to take them to power. But there has been one political party that has been unique and very unique from others, and that is the topic of today. As of today, the party, and I don't want you to start saying that I've joined that party, because in Kenya, you praise somebody, they say, yeah, you anaonekana anaelekea huko. When Mr. Nyaseda told me that stealing is a crime, it did not mean that Mr. Nyaseda was a thief or he was recruiting me to a thief. He was teaching me about thieving. So when I teach you about this political party, do not interpret it to say that I'm joining that party. In fact, even the t-shirt I have is an AFC Leopard t-shirt, not of that political party. Now, coming to that political party, uh, as of today, it is called Kenya Communist Party. Kenya Communist Party. I don't know whether it is a communist party the way I understand communist party is, but I think it is a social democratic party. Before it called itself Kenya Communist Party, it used to be called SDP, Social Democratic Party. This is a political party that before 1997 general elections, they sat down real intellectuals. Imagine two of the leading intellectuals were PhD holders in political science. There was Dr. Apollo Njonjo, and there was Professor Anyang' Nyong'o. These are people who sat down and really, and you see, they are political science PhDs. They sat down and really came from plain papers, and started a political party with the ideology, and which had to transgress through tribals. They even came up and said, why don't you even cross over and have the gender issue? And they nominated Charity Ngilu to be their presidential candidate. Those are the days in 1997 when we used to have this Masani Angilo, Masani Angilo. And she really came out strongly. And that is why I want to tell you people that even the Gen Z, the way you are sick doing ABCD and whatever, 2026 will reach, and these people will see, just like a baby who's in primary, next you'll see the baby in secondary, and next you'll see in the college or university. When we were young in 1979, that's the first time I registered to be a voter. We were being told, you young boys, especially you young people, especially us who grew up in urban areas, yeah, the people who are going to save the country from colonialism. But let me tell you, 2026 will reach, these people will start going to their tribal cocoon. They will even be bought. And that is why you find that 1992, YK92 started. I think if you have not seen that video, please watch it. That is when YK92 came. And when it came to 1997, YK92 was rebranded to be called Kenya. Is it Kenya Action Group or Kanu Action Group? So youths, it will reach a certain time and money will flow. I remember one time there was somebody where I come from, Luandeti. He was very much known for criticizing this and that in the Bunge la Wananchi. Those days they didn't call it Bunge la Wananchi, but there was jobless con or something other. Somebody came and marked him and knew that. So they bought him. Long short, long story short, they bought him. He got money and he started campaigning for Kanu. So that is what I'm saying. Uh, Kenya's Social Democratic Party became it is the only party in Kenya's history to have come up with an ideology where if you wanted to know anything, you'd just go to their whatever. And since Ngilu did not make it in the 1997, something happened. First, there was this political strongholds. Like Anyang' Nyong'o could not make it well in Luo Nyanza. He's now the governor for Kisumu. But SDP nominated him to parliament. Dr. Apollo Njonjo could not make it in Central because there was a Democratic Party. So this is what I told you, that tribalism usually crops up in the last year of elections and people live there. But then even after 1997 election, as Anyang' Nyong'o was the nominated MP for SDP, they came up with a system that was taken over in the 2010 constitution. The thing was that for anybody to be a presidential candidate, he or she has to be a graduate. Well, Gill was a graduate. I don't know whether she has added any certificate, but she was a graduate of Nagoseko. Nagoseko. What is Nagoseko? NA means Nairobi. Go it means government. Se is secretary. Co is college. So by that time, Gill was a graduate of Nairobi Secondary. No, Nairobi Government, Nagoseko, yeah. Nairobi Government Secretarial College. She was a secretary. Uh, so that is how she parted ways with them. And that is how the party almost died. It is only recently it rebranded itself to be Kenya Communist Party. But the much I know about Kenya Communist Party is that it has not brought in communism in its manifesto. It's still, I think it is still the SDP only calling itself as a Democrat, as a Communist Party. What does the Communist Party do? Once they take over, all things becomes government property. Becomes the government property. But if you look at the manifesto of Kenya Communist Party, it is still the SDP only in the name. only in the name. Lastly, I want to say that there was a time when just even mentioning the word communist or whatever, hey, ndio sisi tulikuwa tunafanya kazi. But nowadays things are okay, and it gives me a great pressure to relive life then. And I like the young people who usually uh, enjoy my stories about Kenya of 60s, 70s, and 80s. More so, I I enjoy more when they wanatembelea your till number. Till next time, thank you.